All right, awesome. All right, guys. So we put out the challenge last week when we were at the Go Pro Recruiting Mastery event in Las Vegas. We were at Eric Worre's event, and he was talking about the importance of sharing your story. Do you know that out of all of the amazing tools that you have from LifeVantage or you have from your upline and support teams and here with Team Freedom Reigns, that of all of those tools, your most powerful one is you. It's your story. It's what you've been through. It's what you've come through. It's where you see yourself going and what solution you found. And so it was really important for us to be able to hear this and now to put this challenge out to you and to share exactly how to tell your story, because it is going to be the most powerful tool in getting your business moving forward, building some momentum, and growing as big as you want to in a duplicatable way. Okay, so first of all, what is your story? Your story just is 4 parts, 4 simple parts. And you want to stick to this 4 simple part story, because then you can keep it within a 2-minute time period. Because when you're going to go out and you're going to say, hey, can I share my story with you? Hey, I'd really like to tell you a little bit about my story. You can keep it into a short enough time period that you can keep people's attention and they won't feel like you're kind of imposing, okay? This is going to be a really great way for you to be able to build some curiosity into who you are as a person, because you need to go through certain phases before people become part of your business, okay? First of all, they need to get to know you. They need to decide that they like you, and then they need to feel like they can trust you, okay? So that's what your story is going to do, is give you the opportunity to start that relationship cycle. Okay, so first of all, the number one thing is your background, and then what you didn't like about it, why you wanted to do something different, what type of a solution you found with this opportunity, and how you feel about the future. So let's talk about these, okay? So first of all, what do you do, or what did you do? So for me, it would be very simply, it's like, hey, in a previous life, I used to be a police officer. I really did enjoy it. I was good at it. I was making really good money working for an agency that pays more than any other agency out there. But what I didn't like, okay, so now I'm getting into what I didn't like, okay? So the very first part, you don't have to go in depth into, oh yeah, I used to be a patrol officer, and then I was a detective, and then I was a sergeant. You don't have to get into the minutia, the details, because this is just your 2-minute story. So what do you do, or what did you do? That's the first part of telling your story. Now, the second part is, what did you not like about it? Okay, for me, it would continue on from that, what I used to do, into, but I really didn't like that my kids were only 6 and 9 when I went through the police academy. And so I had the same struggle that so many other people have every single day in deciding on when they have to go to work to pay the bills and when they get to stay home and be parents to the children that they had. They want to be the parents. So that was really hard for me to have to work graveyards. So I was always tired and I felt like I missed out on a lot. Even though I was trying to be there, I never was fully there. So, that's part of what I didn't like about it. Now, another part that I didn't like was that I was never in control. And I learned that because I was in a car accident on duty in 2009, where instantly, with the injuries that I sustained, my career was over. And so my ability to be able to pay my bills went with it. Okay, guys? So this is really important for you to understand that this part of telling your story, the second part, is the most important. Sharing your pain, being able to be vulnerable with people and letting them know how difficult it was for you. For me, it led to a lot of loss. I lost my ability to pay my bills. I lost a house because I couldn't pay for it. I went through a divorce of a marriage that was already bad because of financial struggles. Because of all of the loss and all of the prescription medication I was on, I had 4 suicide attempts. Guys, many of you don't know that about me, but when you're telling your story, sometimes, it's hard to be vulnerable, but the more vulnerable that you can let yourself be, the more powerful your story will be to the person you're sharing it to, because you never know who you're talking to and what they're truly going to relate with. So don't be afraid to be vulnerable in this part of what you did not like about what you used to do or what you currently do. So that's the second part of telling your story. Now, the third part is, what type of solution did you find when you heard the LifeVantage opportunity? For me, I saw these products and I had hope for the first time in 18 months since my accident that I could actually get my brain working again and getting my body functioning at a level higher than it had been, and that it would help me with the pain I had been going through. So that's a solution right there for my physical portion and taking the products. I don't have to go into the details of my story because we want to make sure that we stay compliant in sharing this information, okay? It's really important to stay compliant, okay? And then an additional solution that I found is that I also had lost my identity when I lost my career as a police officer. And so when I saw this information, I had hope for the first time in 18 months that there was a purpose for me again too, that there was a way that I could help people again, even in a grander way than being a police officer. Okay, so those are the solutions that I found with LifeVantage. I found the solution to some struggles I was having with my wellness and with my body function, right? And then I also found a solution in my purpose with the business opportunity. Okay, so again, we're going to keep this just to 2 minutes. This is going to take longer because I'm explaining everything to you, but this is where practice comes into play too. So the fourth part of your story is how you feel about the future now, okay? So this is the fun part. So after you've talked about the solution, now you can talk about what your vision is, about what your dream is, about what you see you being able to do, not just for yourself, but for the people around you and for the world. That we are so excited about sharing this information with so many people that had the same struggles that I had, and being able to give them the understanding that they too could be a stay-at-home parent or a stay-at-home grandparent and still be bringing in a leveraged income that is an asset that they can will for generation to generation to generation. And on top of it, we can do it with a company that likes to leave a legacy. And so we can be part of something bigger than just ourselves. So it's a matter of painting a vision for them, okay? Paint a vision for the people that you're sharing your story with, because that's where some curiosity is really going to come into. But remember, there's the 4 parts of the story: what you did or what you're doing. The second part is what you did not like about it. Third part is the solution that you found with LifeVantage. And the fourth part is how you feel about the future now, okay? So all of this is something that you want to first, take some time, write it out, because you need to condense it down. Take out the minutia. Remember, take out the really small details, because in your 2-minute story, those things don't need to be there. The most important part of the 4 parts is number 2, the pain that you had, the pain that you were sharing or that you were experiencing, because that's where people are going to relate with you, and allow yourself to be able to be vulnerable. Okay, because the more vulnerable that you can be, the more people that will relate to you, because you're sharing your heart. You're getting out of your head and you're getting into your heart, and you're sharing a part of you. Okay, so why are we doing this training right now? Why are we talking about your story? It's because, remember, it's going to be your number 1 top tool that you have with you all of the time. You don't ever have to go looking for your story. It's yours. It's with you always. You don't ever have to worry about having a Wi-Fi connection or being able to get somebody on the phone to validate you, because you are the best validation of your very own story. So you want to make sure that you write out your story, you break it down and condense it so that you can fit it within a 2-minute time period. And then you want to practice. You want to practice in front of the mirror first. In front of the mirror, looking yourself in the eyes, and just practice it and practice it and practice it until you're comfortable with yourself, because you are your biggest critic most of the time, okay? So practice, 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 because you know what practice gets you? Practice makes it powerful, okay? Practice will make your story powerful. So don't be afraid to practice in front of the mirror. But you're only going to do this for a short amount of time, guys. And I'm challenging you right now to start working on your story today if you don't already have it down on paper, and if you don't know what your 2-minute, 4-minute, or 2-minute 4-part story is. Get it done today. Figure it out, because this is your powerhouse tool, remember? So get that part done. Practice in front of the mirror, and then we're going to start with the challenge, okay? Because the more you share your story, the more you're going to improve. And the more that you improve, the more curiosity that you're going to create with the people that you're sharing your story with. And you're going to be able to start developing relationships with these individuals that who knows where it will lead, right? First of all, we're not even thinking about if they're going to become customers or distributors. We're practicing sharing your most powerful tool, and that's your story, okay? So who of you are hungry? Because you have to be hungry to be successful in this business. You have to be hungry to be able to push through the fear. You have to be hungry to do the things that are necessary to be able to build your business as big as you deserve it to be built. So are you hungry? Right, guys? So if you're hungry, and if you're watching this on Facebook, I want to see in the comments section, I'm hungry, I'm hungry, I'm hungry, I'm hungry. Put it out there, guys. Let me feel your hunger, okay? That you want to do this, that this is something that you're committing to and that you're going to be consistent with, all right? So it's so important for you to identify yourself as being a hungry person, because everything else can be taught. If you're hungry, we can teach you everything else, everything else. So decide, are you hungry? Do you want this? Are you willing to do what it takes? Because if you are, we can absolutely help you accomplish every single one of your goals. So here we are. We want to challenge you to take the 100 story challenge. We put it out on Facebook last week when we were at the event. But now we want you guys to truthfully look inside yourselves and decide, I'm hungry. I'm going to do this. I'm going to practice and make my story powerful. And I'm going to go and I'm going to share it with the world, not caring what they think of me, just sharing my story. Okay? So anybody that you come across, whether it is the mailman that's delivering the Christmas packages, I mean, think about those poor guys. They're working 7 days a week now, ungodly hours. Do you think that they might like to look for a leveraged income stream before next Christmas so it can be a different experience for themselves? Or how about the pool person? Sorry, here in Arizona, we still have our pool people coming to work on our pool. So the pool person at the store, when you're shopping, when you're getting your Christmas gifts, when you're getting your car washed, when you're going grocery shopping, anything that you do on a daily basis, there's people. So are you willing and are you hungry enough to take the 100 story challenge? Meaning we're going to tell 100 different people our story between now and the end of the year. So by the end of December 31st, you will have told 100 new people your story. 100. Are you willing? Are you in? Put I'm in the comment section if you're in. All right, guys? Do it, because by sharing your story, you're going to be talking to more people. By talking to more people, you're going to put the law of averages and the numbers game in play, and you will have results that you have not had yet, because you are sharing your most powerful tool, which is you, which is your story. It's powerful. All right, guys, super excited to see what this is going to do for you. And it will end up with more customers, more people joining your business than you've had previously, because you will be actually putting this into action and sharing your story. All right, thanks for joining me. Have a great day, and I can't wait to see how many of you are willing to participate in this. Love you guys. Be blessed. If I can get out.